The next thing we're going to cover is how to find and complete the chapter resources, the launch activities, check for understanding questions, and the articles. For every single chapter that we do, or nearly every single chapter, you'll be required to find these things in Blackboard and to answer some of these questions. So let's go find them. So here we are back in Blackboard. Again, we're going to go over to this left menu, and here is the link that says Chapter Resources. Let's click on that. When you click on Chapter Resources, you're going to see chapter resources for every single chapter in our textbook. All of these chapters are there. These are the chapter resources for every single chapter in our book. I'm going to click on just one of these just to show you some examples here. So let's click on Thinking and Intellectual Performance. Let's say, for instance, that you have read your assignment calendar. Your assignment calendar says to complete the chapter resources and the articles and check for understandings and the launch articles, the launch activities for Chapter 2. Okay, so you're going to go over here to this link that I just showed you, Chapter Resources. When you click on that, you're going to click on Chapter 2 because that's what your assignment calendar says. And you're going to see a menu that looks like this. Now, the fun part of this is that it says each one of these is an article. But guess what? Each one of these is usually a very brief video. Let's check one out. Let's click on Article 2. And when I open up Article 2, there's a mini video lecture that only lasts a few minutes. You will read the sentence above it. What is critical thinking? Which questions will work for you? Read that portion, then click play.
This lesson introduces you to the cognitive psychology of learning.
And this little brief video is 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. You'll watch that video, and then underneath that, you will see something that says either check your understanding or launch activity. Click on that, and you're going to be asked 2 or 3 questions. Here are 3 questions that are going to go with the information that you learned in this video. You will not be submitting the answers to these questions for a grade. You will answer, and it will tell you whether or not you answered correctly or incorrectly. It will ask you to try again. The reason you want to complete this, however, is most of the discussion questions that you have to answer for a grade and most of the journal entries that you must respond to for a grade are based on the information in the chapter resources. So you must complete those things before you answer your discussion questions through the discussion board and the journal questions. So very briefly, we've covered all of these already. Your chapter resources can be found in the link in the left-hand column. And when you reach that link, you'll click on the chapter that's on your assignment calendar for that week. You will look at the article, which is a video, usually. Occasionally, it's a very, very short reading. And then you will check for launch activities or check for understanding questions and answer those not for a grade, but so that you will be prepared to answer your discussion questions and your journal entries. In fact, I want to reiterate or re-emphasize that once you click on these answers and receive a response about whether or not you got it right or wrong, you do not submit that as an assignment. There's no way to turn that in. You just must complete them to see on your own how well you did.